Hi all, Mark Mechanic here. So I'm going to show you how to service your little walk behind push mowers. Your little Briggs motors, your Honda motors, all those sort. Generally there's only the two types. There's the Briggs and Stratton and your Honda on a lot of your smaller mowers. So the first thing what you need to do is start your engine. Let it warm up. Get that oil free and moving for a few minutes, then shut it down. So we're going to go through the steps on that, but that's the first step. Secondly, what you've got to do is remove your spark plug. Take the spark plug out of the engine here. You don't want anything happening while you're working on it. So remove that. Okay, so now to drain the oil. There's your oil filler here, right here. That's your oil filler. So once you've warmed it all up, once you've warmed the engine all up, the oil should flow free. So what you can do is turn it over on the side, just like so. Pour the oil into a container and let it rest there, let it drain, get all that oil out. So the next thing what we do, after we've drained that, generally do the blades. Now, I'm putting new blades on this one, because this mower here we're going to flip it. So, I'm going to show you how to put a new set of blades on, which is quite simple. Okay, so I've already taken the disc off. I've taken the disc off. So, whether you've got swing back blades like these Victor mowers have, or you've got a straight bar blade, best idea is to take them off the machine and do it. Now, sometimes if you turn up on the back of your blade is okay, if this part of the blade's okay, this turn up here, you can sharpen the front edge. Just run your grinder on the front edge there. You ain't got to do the one side, it's only from there to there, and give them a sharpen up, and that'll get you a bit more life out of them. But if they're totally buggered, you need to replace them, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, I've seen people put them on incorrect. So, that's your cutting side, right? That's the part sitting in the ground. I've seen people put their blades on like that. So the blade is actually cutting upside down. Wouldn't be cutting real well, but they do it quite often. So, generally, that's how they go, like that. So for that purpose, what to do, we have our bolt, our blade bolt, nylon seat, and a nut for it. So the nylon seating goes on the bolt like that, just like that, fits on there first. Then your blade goes on like that with the little lockers here, just in there. Alright, now some blades come with a spring washer. That goes on there before it goes onto the plate. So yeah, we're just going to take that, like so, and we're going to put it on our disc. We're just going to fit that to our disc. Sometimes the holes get a bit elongated or out of shape in your plates. That one's not going to go in there real well. So there we go. That one goes into there. You have a washer there. Put your washer on. And put your nut on. Just like that. I'm going to use a 14mm 14mm socket on the rail gun here. If you don't have a rail gun, you can always use your socket set with a breaker bar. So I'm just going to tighten it up. Just going to tighten that up. Now, these blades, I know that one's fairly tight, but they are actually a swing blade. The idea of that is so as it's coming around, you hit something, this hip, the blade pushes out of the road. On that. So we're just going to do the other one now. So take out new blade, same thing. So we'll put our little nylon sleeve there, put that into there. That one went in nice and easy. Alright, so we'll put our washer on and then we'll put the nut on. So we'll just tighten it up. Right, so our blades are on, our new blades are on. Now, always one thumb rule, this part here, the turn up on your blade always pushes up under the mower. Go up under the mower. And as I showed you before, people put the mower on the side down and they don't cut real well. Wonder why. Had a guy give me a mower in long ago, perfect condition, nothing wrong with it. He said it wouldn't cut. It's not cutting, it doesn't do this, doesn't do that. And that was because he had the blades on upside down. So anyway, alright, so now we're going to fit that back to the mower. So what we do here, we just turn the mower around. Just back like so. Now, as you can see here, come around here with that. Just have a better look at it. Now this here has got two pins on either end, your blade boss. Now with these mowers, so it's a disc, one there. You've got to make sure they line up, otherwise it'll vibrate and carry on, and you wonder what's going on. It's not lined up properly. So we'll put our bolt back in. That's a 3/4 inch, that one. So we're just going to tighten that one down, just like so. So there we go, there's our blades. The blades part is done. Alright, sit the mower back down. Now we'll do our air filter on here. So now, generally you'll have a couple of different types of air filters. These little brick sprint motors, they'll have this foam one. They'll have a little foam filter here. Some of the other bricks in your Honda motors, they'll have these paper ones. Now I will say, these paper ones can be cleaned by blowing them out with compressed air. Do not wash them. Whereas the little foam ones, yes, you can clean them. You can wash them out in warm soapy water or a bit of kerosene or something. Make sure they're dry before you put them back in. So you remove the air filter housing off the engine. That generally sits like so on there. So you undo your screw here, pull that out, the air filter will come off. Okay, so we'll take our air filter and we'll put it back in here. Put our new air filter in. Better get it the right way. There we go. So we just push that down in there, just like so. and put the top back on. Now, with these, the foam filters, just these little foam filters, what you can do, or should do, is take some oil. Take your engine oil. And just where those holes are, just put a little bit on it. Don't have to put much, just a little bit. Just a little bit of oil on there, just like so, just like that. Just rub it in. Now, what that does, that picks up all the fine dirt and dust. Stops it from going inside the engine. Okay, so we're not going to refit that just yet, but that's ready to go back on. Okay, so next thing what we're going to do is our spark plug. So we've got our new spark plug here. It's a BLM2, B2LM NGK plug, or you can use an RJ19LM in them. Some of these I've seen them with the CJ8. Now, a lot of times they are pretty well set pretty well to the specs of the mower. Just moving around a bit here, sorry. There's a little tool you can get. They call them a dollar tool, right? And they've got all different sizes all the way around here for spark plugs. Now, these are set at 0.30 is for the Briggs motors. So what you do, you take that and you put that in under the tip here, just like so. We slide that in there, just like that. Just like that, and that gives us the right gap for the spark plug. So we can put that into the front of the motor, fit that back in. Oh, he's going wonky here. So we'll just put that back in there, we'll just put that in for now. Do not hook it back up just yet. Okay, so we're just going to tighten that up. Just like so. So we'll leave that. Okay, so we'll bring the mower around now, we'll put the oil in. We can put our oil back in. Back into there. Okay, so now the oil. SAE30 or 10W30 engine oil. Had an engine the other week there come in and had someone put linseed oil in it. Don't know why they did that, but they did. It was full of linseed oil. So what I've got, these little bottles are great with a little top on them that pull up. Now you want about 500ml. They take about 500 to 600ml. And these little bottles are good because they fit in there nicely. And you just let it drain into there. So we'll let that sit for a second. And we'll just check that. Now, on a lot of these, they've got an arrow here. You don't want to come over the top of that arrow. Only to the top of the mark there. No, fill them over here and you're going to have too much oil, you're going to have oil coming out for the exhaust and all sorts of dramas. Do not overfill. Now, some of your Honda ones are the same, they've just got a mark on them. So we'll just put that in there, we'll screw it down. Then we'll bring it back out. Okay, so we're just under that now, so we're going to put a little bit more in. I'll go in for that. Now, you can buy what they call a service kit, right? Which will give you your air filter, your oil, your new spark plug a lot of times, and sometimes they'll even give you the blades for them. You can buy that service kit for about $40. The new set of blades for these are about $12, with they the two on these type. So you can buy those online a lot cheaper than what you can by going to a rail centre and do it yourself. Now, as long as you get the right one for your right engine, it'll have it on there, it'll say on eBay or everywhere you get it from, what they fit. So you can do it that way, works out a bit cheaper for you. Right, so that there's pretty well on the mark there. So we know that the oil's correct. So we screw that down. Now, I have seen people put these in and don't tighten them down and they fly out. I just always like to put a screwdriver in there like that, just to be sure. Now, we've done that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is show you how we set the RPMs on the engine on here. Now what we need to do, we need to start it. So we're going to put our spark plug back on, our boot back on the plug. I've already primed him up. So we're going to start it, and I'll show you how we set the engine speed. Now, the engine speed on these little Briggses around about the 29 to 3100. Now, because I'm flipping this mower, I don't want people to run it flat out, revving the guts out of it when they're only cutting stuff like this, about that high. So what I'd normally do, like I'm around about that 27, 2800. That seems to be pretty well enough for a lot of people. And that way I know they're not going to rev it out and blow the motor up, put the piston through the block or something stupid. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll start it up. Under there. No, that's okay. So there we go, guys. As you see me there, put the taco on there. This one's sitting around about the 3000, so that's not too bad. We'll leave it at that. You might have seen where I changed the tab here. There's a little tab on the spring here, just in here. Now, by moving that forward, that way, that decreases it. Bring it back this way, that opens it up. And that's how I adjust them. Sometimes what happens, I'll go under a branch and this will bend up. So periodically you should be just checking it. If your mower's lacking power, it's probably because of this here being bent. There's a lot of times. So that's how we do that. We can put the air filter back on now. We've done the RPMs on the engine. Guys, that's how you service a small Briggs & Stratton push mower. That's about all there is to it. By doing it yourself, you save a fair bit of money. I know there's, depending where you live, but around here the shops are charging up to $150 to do that. Just to do what I've just done there. Now, you may recall this little mower. I've done a video early in the week on it. It had the bad handle on it. And we made a plate to put on it. Give you a look at that. Give you a look at the mower now. This is the mower that we've done up. There's our plate that we put on with the handle that was all gone in here. We reinforced all that. So yeah, it came up pretty well actually, this one. And it runs good, so a little bonus, that one for a freebie.